So that just kind of takes us into the estimating portion of things. If we can bring that up, I wanted to create these charts just so everybody kind of knows where they're at, and I'll walk you through it as we go. So what I wanted to do was take the products. I've got two pages of this. If you need this, I'm sure we can just put a document together and email it out to folks as well. But I want to take a look at the products that we've spoken about and services so far. What the regular price of our product is, which you would see on the website. What the certified firm price is for those same products, right? Um, what your cost is per square foot. Okay, so I nailed this down by looking at each individual product and what the yield was per square foot. They all vary. That's right, right? X4 is very different from MaxGuard, for example. So we want to know what that per square foot cost is, and then what is should the installed cost be, right? Within a 20% margin or so, depending upon your where you live. So that begins to give us some very definitive numbers here. So if you're, max guarding a substrate, for example, you probably want to be in the neighborhood of $1.75 per square foot, making about an 80% gross margin with time and materials included in that number. That's right. Okay. I shouldn't say 80% gross margin include labor in there. An 80% margin based upon the cost of the product. That's right. Right. Yeah, right. So that's there. And then we've got page 2 for this as well. This goes into the MaxGuard Blackout, the Vapor Lock products, and then the Fortify products as well. And you see on Fortify, that differs considerably depending upon how you're using the product. So use this as a measure of where you should kind of think about being to begin with, and then look at your time and materials and vary it based upon that and see how close these numbers are to one another.
That's based on region too. So keep that in mind. That could be a little different depending on what part of the country you're at. It's a great starting point to understand the metrics and the numbers of it.
Yeah.
And then you can always adjust from there, run it through the systems and see what you think. But that is great information right there when it comes to being on point.
Yeah.
Like I said, get back. I want to be within 10 or 15% of my.
And within the job or two, you could use these numbers, bounce your time materials off or your Xactimate estimate. And if you're really close in here within, probably a 5 to 10% margin, it also allows when that customer inevitably asks you about how much is this going to cost.
That's right.
You could probably keep a little list on you and give them a pretty good idea right away.
And not only that, once you go to your next customer, the educational portion of having that cost summary, if you're going back, it's probably one of the biggest things for me is, well, that customer said you're $20,000 higher than somebody else. Well, maybe I misestimated it. Maybe I overcharged. What was it that I did that to lose that 20,000? Why couldn't I be any closer to that? So this helps me go.
What aren't they doing?
What aren't they doing?
Right.
So am I running the numbers correctly? But I want to go back to cost versus estimate. How can I dial that in? If I'm 20%, how do I get it to 15? If I'm 15, how can I get it better than 15?
Right. And I'll return to this real quick. And that is like, the beauty about eCare is going to be that it's completely transparent. Yeah. It's transparent in two ways. Number one, it allows them to see what's going on and the full scope of work and everything, because they have access. Even as a homeowner, they'll have access to their own eCare account, right? On the other side of that, they'll see what's missing from the competitors.
Yeah, that's
right. Why is that competitor less? Well, this gives enough clarity to the situation that, if anything's missing, you can call it out pretty quick.
Right. And 8 out of 10 business owners that I've worked with in my past don't do any much cost summaries, or they don't job costs. They were never looking back at, estimated versus actuals.
Yeah.
And it is very huge in the estimating game to not miss anything, overbid, or maybe you underbid it and you want to know why, and that's huge. Let's figure out why. Or maybe you're spot on here. It's really good.
Yeah. So, that brings us to like, what's next, right? After this, I think that, my recommendation would be for companies out there really looking to gain ground in their marketplaces, whether it be residentially and creating better education, using severity indexing systems, learning how to to train your guys with tools like this and having access to all the things that we're producing right now. Really, the next step, I think, is certified firm.
Absolutely. Right. One thing that we've been working on behind the scenes is the certified firm, the platform, the process. the agreements and all that to where you guys are protected. And I think that's one thing that I have seen within the certified firm. But not only that, the open doors that it's going to allow you to get into places where your typical lead systems are not going to generate these leads. These are very tough leads to get. They are relationship built leads. It's always one of those. Do you know somebody?
Yeah, it's funny because there is the relationship's important, but at the same time, it's got to be equally technical.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
It's this unique combination of relationship and technical, and you can't go without the technical.
Yep.
Which is why we're so involved, right? We've noticed every time we get involved in a sale with a customer in institutions, multifamily, municipality, by working together, we're able to knock those sales down.
That's exactly right. It's just more from the team, right? We're coming at bat with the biggest batter, the best averages, and
Yeah.
we're going to knock a home run, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're
So I would say to you, like, if you're looking to knock down sales, you're looking to grow into all these areas, maybe grow your residential, yes, and firm that up a little bit, but you're really looking to grow the commercial, institutional side of things. There's no better partner than us.
That's correct. I agree with that. Not only the staff here, but what Mark has done,
The whole team's done.
processes, the structures,
Yeah.
all of this has been amazing. The products that we use, it has been amazing for me to learn all about and to kind of grasp what we're trying to do for you guys. And there again, I've been in the coatings business for a long, long time, and the things that I've even learned so far from Mark and the team has been extremely high. But what we are trying to do is back you guys up so that you can be more successful.
Mm-hmm.
You can have those more jobs. Those commercial jobs are all based around relationship. And if you don't know somebody, it's hard to get into an institution. It's hard to get into a university. And this certified firm, with what we have built, is going to allow you to get into places that you never thought you were going to get into.
Now we're about to change up certified firm in the way that we train it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So this is a testing ground for actually where we're going with certified firm, right?
Yeah.
Because we realized a lot of people nationwide just haven't had access, right? We're here in the Carolinas, and there are people on the other side of the world who want access to this as well. So in September, mid-September, we're looking at right now, right?
Yep.
We're going to start rolling out a class, but instead of doing it all at one time, we're going to piecemeal it. We're going to take each topic, right?
Yep.
And we're going to break it down into days, either at the beginning. We're kind of playing with that right now.
Yep.
Right. Beginning
Trying
of
to get a
day.
little feedback. Yep. We're going to try to, do some daily things, not so much an 80-hour course. We're not going to, expect you to drive. We're not going to, come into town. We're going to try to pull this together so that at the end of the day that your guys cannot miss any time in the field, that you're not losing revenue on production, that you guys are getting in and getting out, and that it's at a time during the day that is great for your guys, for your staff systems,
Yeah.
and for all your whole team.
Yeah. So we're looking at two possibilities. I think one is from 8:30 to 9:30, we're thinking about
Yep.
like an hour session in the morning,
Yep.
or flipping it to the end of the day.
Yep.
Because a lot of contractors, they don't work till the technicians aren't there at 5 o'clock.
That's right.
Right? They're working till maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3:30 in the afternoon. So the other side is, hey, why not do this at the end of the day when everybody can come back to the office, sit down together and go through the course together as well. So we're bouncing those two ideas back and forth, but we are looking at launching this in mid-September.
Yeah, and so one of the biggest things is just making sure that it's in your schedule. We're going to try to give you plenty of time so that what's coming on. What we're going to be teaching during that class. The expectations are always going to be high for us because we want you to get the benefit of it, right? We're not doing this only for our health, but for you guys. We want you to be successful in this business, in your industry, your field, so that when you go out, that when you're using EnviroGuard and you're selling yourself, that you've got the best of the best.
Yeah. The other thing is that the only condition of this is that they're going to have what we have. Right? They're going to have the products on hand,
that's right.
obviously the equipment and things like that. So there's going to be a little coordination, going on behind the scenes here. We've got a few weeks with everybody who wants to come into the certified program to get all that set up. So if you need a BTM sprayer, if you need pump sprayers, foamers, we'll work together to make sure that you're outfitted. We're offering a great deal on BTM right now.
We got a $500 off.
Yeah, so $500 off through the end of the month right now to kind of catapult certified firms into that. BTM isn't just about being a better tool. It's about being a professional tool that makes our customers look great, but it also, really reduces labor by about 60 or 70% on these jobs.
It's amazing to for a guy that's been in the ditches and the trenches out there hauling these sprayers and these cleaners around through the years. Just having something that's applicable, that's easy to maintain, it's easy to use, it's easy to work on, it's easy to change out. It has the flexibility to last for a very long time. The parts are very nice. We've done a really great job of knowing what works and what doesn't work when it comes to our BTMs. The pump sprayers are phenomenal. I call them the Cadillac pump sprayers. I mean,
They really are.
They are just really nice, and once you buy things like this, going back to what I said earlier, Dad said, well, you get what you pay for.
Yeah, professional tools make all the difference.
That's correct.
Right. So then finally, I think it brings, kind of a good summary of all this is here's your support team, right? And the way we want to think about this slide here is know what we do here so we can help you most, right? You've got customer success with Charles Hindell. He's handling all your logistics, your support, and your administration.
Yep.
Of course, Adam, who you met today, he's planning and consulting, right? So project planning, estimating, sales support, making sure that you're making those connections and you've got everything that you need for a successful project. Gigi, who's behind the scenes here right now, is creative production. She's doing all the digital and print creation. A lot of what you're seeing today was done by Gigi. And then I'm on the development side now. I'm no longer day-to-day sales like I used to be, right? I'm focused on training, product, and technical development. So working behind the scenes on new products coming to fruition. We've got updates coming with existing product lines I think that wraps us up for the day. There may be questions out there. We're figuring this out and how we're going to, work back and forth with questions when we go into a meeting atmosphere, which we'll use for the certified training portion of things. We'll be able to see you and you'll be able to see us all at the same time. We'll be able to handle questions on the fly. Today, this is in a webinar atmosphere, which is almost a one-way thing, except for maybe some questions that people are typing out in the background. But otherwise, we hope that this was informative, helpful, and hopefully this begins a discussion that ends up doubling your sales with the introduction of passive moisture controls into your remediation program currently. So make sure you check certification. Make sure you check out our severity indexing systems. Most of all, make sure that when Adam gives you a call to introduce yourself and to begin working with you, that you're approaching that from the standpoint of consultation, planning, preparedness, and quality control on jobs.
That's correct.
Anything else we need to say?
Hey, it's use us. We are a support team for you guys to understand, to be better in the field, to grow your skills, your education, to help your team work better together, but only at the end of the day, the business owners to help make more profit.
Yeah.
And watch for our updates. Our everything that we're getting ready to announce is all huge. There again, reach out, get a hold of us.
Yep. With that, have a great day, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.